did that in the lab. We did an example. There were some homework problems. You expect that problem, right? So maybe be careful, because if you screw up on one of those signs, it screws up the whole thing, right? So just double check, and But then the other problems are, there isn't like a long calculation where you have 3 equations, 3 unknowns, and you have to plug this in and integrate that, and it's pretty straightforward.
If you know what you're doing, it shouldn't take long.
What's that?
If you know what you're doing, it shouldn't take long.
Exactly. If you know what you're doing, you should be done in half an hour, 45 minutes or so. If you get stuck in one of them, you may spend time thinking about it, but you'll probably spend more time thinking about it than actually doing it if you know how to do it.
You're taking the exams in the lab?
Do you want to?
No, I was just wondering. I wasn't when you.
I wasn't planning on doing that, but
So will there be a lab after?
was that?
Will there be a lab after the test?
You tell me. We could do a lab. We could do a lab. Next week we don't do a lab, right? Next week is Thanksgiving.
So
Thursday we meet.
Oh yeah, we only
Tuesday, Thursday. Next week is Thanksgiving, right? Next
Yes.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So we don't have, the school is closed, so we're not gonna do a lab. And I was just looking at the schedule. After that, we're gonna meet for 2 Thursdays
No.
again. And then the third Thursday after that is the last exam.
How many more labs do we have?
So we could do a couple more.
Because on Canvas there's only 7, right?
But remember that there's one that you did.
Oh, yeah, that we did 2
over
of.
2 weeks. So
The last midterm is going to be on the
17th.
last day of the semester.
the Thursday of
Yeah.
I think
week
it's the
16.
17th of December.
So there's a lab on, you did the single slit diffraction, right? I mean, we added another lab to number 5, I guess, with the double lenses, right? So there was really a 6 lab, this was really 7, so we could do we could do what's listed over here as 7, but it'll really be the 8th lab. And then there is one more lab that I would like to do. We have 2 spectrometers that kind of work. We have other ones, but I know that they're hard to read, so, but we have 2 spectrometers that do okay. And then for that one, maybe we can take turns. Maybe some of you start the lab at 3:20, and then another group comes in at 4:20, and so maybe half the class takes up that has that Thursday off, and then so let's say we break up into 4 groups. So one Thursday, 2 groups do the lab, but maybe one group does, because we have 2 instruments, so we could have like 4 people working on that. So there are like 27 of you, so if we do groups of 4, so we could do 2 groups of 4 people on one instrument, 4 people on one instrument, that's 8. And that would be, we could do that on like the first hour of the lab. And then 2 groups of 4, the second hour of the lab. That's 16, and then the other people have that day off. And then the week after, that follows, those who did the lab then have the day off. And then those who didn't do it will then do the lab. We can do something like that where we sort of share the equipment. But I don't want like 10 people on the same setup, because then, you're just sitting around. And it is a cool lab. It's not difficult, but it's one that I think you learn quite a bit from, because you read about it and you hear about it, but it's it's nice to actually just do the lab and then you know what's involved. It isn't as complicated as you may think it is. Okay. So we can do 2 more labs. If we do 1 lab this Thursday, like, actually, it wouldn't be bad to do this one because this is actually a Phys lab. This is one of those online. I can just explain it, and you just run the animations, and you can do that at home, and so we don't need an equipment to do that lab. Because you go to that website, and then so maybe I can just talk about it this Thursday, half an hour after the test, and then you go home and you do it, right? If you don't want to have the rest of the day off, since you will have just taken an exam. And then next week is Thanksgiving, and then the week after that, we can then coordinate, who's gonna be doing the lab for the last one, which I haven't posted in here. It's another one, which I'll post.
So for the single slit lab, when is it due?
So it's supposed to be due this. It would have been nice to do it by today, right? This is the lab question. This is your lab. I actually used the numbers that I measured last week. Those were the numbers that I got. So. But you did the lab last week, right? So that was that question. But it's supposed to be due this Thursday. If you've done it, submit it. If you haven't done it, you need another day, another couple of days. What do you need?
That would help for me.
Push it to the end of the week, something?
Yeah, Friday or Saturday.
Okay, how about Sunday night? Okay, so I forget. So that would be this one, right?
My weekly anime.
Or let's see, wait.
Saturdays shows are
The 10th?
unreleased.
No, so that's.
Just watch it every morning before class.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Reminds me of being a kid. Going morning cartoons.
I watch them all Saturday night because throughout the week everything updates anyways, and Saturday
So
night
that
the
was
things are out.
6.
I can just binge it.
Getting annoyed with Bleach and it gets so good and then it ends and
Dude, it
yeah,
comes
we're-
off so good every time.
These would change
the
something like
last
that,
one
make
you
it like
did,
it's this nice wrap up, but
Okay,
in
so
Bleach
we'll
it's
just call
this
it
big
7.
overarching thing where I want to know more.
I'm trying to catch up on the One Piece episodes.
So you call it 7.
I caught up on the manga show, but I let the anime run a little bit.
Right.
Are you doing that?
I'm still on Crocodile.
Still on Crocodile?
I haven't been watching it as much. It's like a job to watch that show.
You got 6 hours out of the day, 30-minute break in between.
It's literally like 2 weeks if you watch it like all in one sitting. I just wish it wasn't so poorly paced. But I want to read the manga, but then I'm like, I like watching it because like when it is good, but like otherwise it's like super
I
slow.
think you're okay with reading the manga all the way up into Wano.
Okay.
Because Wano, the episodes, animation, is so slow.
Okay.
There's like movie grade shit for some reason.
Just for no reason, they're like, yo, we're milking this for money, so we'll put a little more.
Did you see that I think they're gonna try to reanimate
Change that to.
like the earlier episodes.
Oh yeah, I saw that. More delay.
Yeah. Hopefully they cut out all the fillers, cause we don't need fillers.
They're not gonna
Okay,
do that.
good, I think,
Or I
right?
mean, well,
I just changed
Oh,
the number
filler,
for the
not-
single
Yeah,
slit to
then
number
Dragon
7.
Ball, I had the
And
new
the other one to
reanimate
8.
where they cut out fillers. It's faster paced.
yeah. I see what you mean.
Okay, so there were a couple of sections at the end of that chapter on the special theory of relativity. I would like to go